I can hear you, dude.
Hello?
God,
All right, guys.
the
Sorry.
mic was off.
So, welcome to an all new episode of Toy Addicts Anonymous. I'm here with my brother Carlos, the
What's
Badass
up?
Reviews. And man, we got a lot to talk about because last week we tried to do this crazy simultaneous live from Legions Con. And unfortunately, if you guys watched, there was really bad internet service at the hotel where Legions Con took place. So we did get a quick walk around of the convention floor and the setup and a lot of vendors, and we got sneak peeks of things. But generally, it was noisy. It was not the best setting for the show. So today we're taking a 2.0 approach to the Legions Con edition of Toy Addicts Anonymous, and yeah, my brother Carlos, the last minute he packed his bags and went. Unfortunately, I couldn't join him over there, but you know, um, it's going to be all about let's ask him about his experience at the show, how everything went. I mean, we've talked a lot already since you got back, but tell the public how was the experience. I know you mentioned that this Legions Con was much bigger and much crazier and much more exciting, right?
Yeah, man, like it was really really awesome. And I always said like it's always like you feel like you're like with family, right? But I don't know if I have the same vibe that I had with PowerCon, kind of like it was pretty similar. I think um this time was more like, I mean, to me at least was better because I stay like right there in the hotel where the venue was like, like the venue of the con. And I have the opportunity to go to GCon also. I was able to share with all these guys, with the Four Horsemen, with YouTubers, customizers, toy makers, you name it. In the lobby of the hotel, we were talking, chatting, taking pictures, making fun, joking. It was a really good vibe, and like environment was like really like family vibe. And the con was really big. The venue actually, I will say it was, man. I will say it was pretty close to PowerCon,
Really?
dude.
But like the
Yeah,
PowerCon we went to in Ohio?
yeah. It was really
Really?
big.
Dude, that's big. That was fucking huge.
It was really big. I'm telling you, like it was big. It was huge event.
Wow. That's crazy. So yeah, I think I really wanted to go. I know for sure I'm not gonna miss out next year. We went last year together, and I believe it was our first Legions Con, right? It was your
Yeah,
first, and it was my
correct.
first. So this is your second, and next year will be my second. But you know, it was really awesome because one thing we talk about a lot is you're a super likable guy. So and everybody knows you. It's like Cheers. It's like Carlos, where everybody knows your name.
It's
So it's like,
crazy.
dude, and you're like like a rock star when it comes to this convention because it's like all these people that you've known for years in the Facebook forums and stuff like that. For me, you know, I'm on the Cabal and stuff, but I'm not like super active on Facebook and things like that as I was in years before. But it's something about that show that everybody treats you like family, man. Everybody looks out for you. I remember when we went last year, perfect strangers were helping me, get the exclusives, giving me tips. I met a lot of cool people, and we talked about it before, where these conventions, it's a place where all these like-minded people come together, and besides all the bullshit that's happening in the world, for these 24, 48 hours, we can disconnect from all that and just have a really fucking awesome time, just talking about toys and seeing awesome stuff, and buying awesome stuff that is either custom made or figures from the Four Horsemen and stuff like that. But tell me about your haul. I know you were pretty frugal this year. You picked up the Vorgus Vermilius, and did you end up getting an exclusive? Not an exclusive, sorry, a custom.
Not really. I got the Vorgus, which is this one right here.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's beautiful. This figure is beautiful, and the cape made by CJ Zim.
Yeah.
Man, this is crazy. I have the opportunity to like talk to CJ for a while at at the reception of the hotel, and great guy, super cool guy. It's so fun how many things we have in common from like or perspective about the toy community, that I was like, dude, it's incredible. The same things I'm thinking about the toy community, about the toy industry and everything, he had the same ideas. I mean, he's far away from me because he's like top of the food chain in soft goods, like in the community. I mean, he's a rock star. He doesn't act like a rock star. He's super humble. His family is amazing, but I mean, he's the best, right? So
Mhm.
he works for Super Seven, Four Horsemen, Mesco, you name it. I mean, Meta Travelers now. I mean, the guy is a star. So, but we were talking a lot. He's a great guy. I have the opportunity to get the Vorgus Vermilius I got with Nolan, your 2 pack for Walter the Math,
Yeah.
and I got this amazing figure. I was able to pick up the night the surprise drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reviewed this figure on my YouTube channel. I love this figure. This is a custom sword.
Sword.
Yes, but man, this figure is a different level, dude. This is the 2.0, I think. Night body is the one that they're using on the Necronominus wave,
Hmm.
which the figure is able to hold the sword with 2 hands. Like a lot of possibilities. He can kick high, super high. The shoulders can reach past 90. The elbow joints past 90. The figure is really cool, and it's really quality. And it was just $40.
Yeah.
It comes with 2 alternate heads, several sets of hands, a sword, mace, man, you name it. It's a really fun figure and really cool, and all the paint ups and everything. I mean, you can beat this. And he comes with the new neck pack, which is like pretty similar to Marvel Legends.
Okay.
It's a ball pack with a hinge on it. So,
Walter the Mad.
oh,
What's
what's
up, man?
up, Walter? What's up? Well, talking about Walter, I was able to go to PowerCon because of him, uh, how persistent he was and everything, and how he made everything really smooth for me to be there. Man, I'm gonna tell you right now. Uh, Now that I was sharing time with him, I went to eat dinner with him. He took me to a restaurant very close to the hotel with his family. I was eating with his family, his wife, his son. Man, Walter is actually the spirit of that con, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like, he is that guy that get everybody together. He's that guy that everybody love. He's that guy that is there for everybody. He helped me out with some stuff that he doesn't need to, but he was always worried about how I was, if I was enjoying the show, if everything was okay. Uh, Dude, Carlos, you need anything, let me know. Not just with me, but with everybody else. Like, he was really worried about how people like were enjoying the show. And listen, dude, that guy right there is one of the best guys in the world. Like, in the toy community, that guy is number one, dude. Like, cheers, hands down to you, Walter. You deserve that action figure. Let me show you right here.
He's a rock star, man. Like I met him for the first time at PowerCon last year, and I remember he just came up to me and gave me a T-shirt. He gave me the badge. Oh, let's take an up close look at that. Hold
Yeah, this is Walter the Map, the
on.
homage to Walter Hagen from the Cabal.
That
Check this out.
that 2-pack is so sick because it's like I love the color orange and the fact that we have an undead astronaut, and then we have an awesome, like zombie skeleton. That to me, that 2-pack was like a must have. I'm
Oh,
so
dude,
glad that.
it's amazing. It's amazing. And the cool thing is, like, they give you like this package on the side full of hands.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, full of hands.
So those are extra hands,
Yes,
orange hands for
yeah,
Walter.
for the armor, for the
Oh,
actual cosmic
oh,
Walter.
that's so awesome, dude.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, I think I live vicariously through you and Nolan and and Steven and all these other people that went to the con last weekend, and there was some amazing stuff. I'm still wanting to see because I didn't see a lot of people post like extensive coverage of all the customs. Like I've seen some pictures of heads and things like that, but I don't think anybody really posted a lot of content as far as like what every booth had and all the figures. Because I remember when we went last year, and it was such a much smaller venue. Um, Man, I filled up my camera roll taking pictures and shooting videos of all the amazing customs
I
that
did
that these artists had.
I did the walkthrough, and I took pictures pretty much of everything, but it was overwhelming. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
like, it was so many custom action figures, so many custom heads. It was really, really overwhelming and impressive. And I'm gonna tell you, I was pretty much doing videos, interviews, and stuff like that. I didn't have the chance actually to do like that many interviews. To be honest with you, I think the only interviews that I did pretty much was um
I think
with
people
Jeremy.
forgot to, and we're having so much fun. Yeah, that makes sense. What Walter says, people were having so much fun, they forgot to take pictures and videos.
Dude, exactly.
He
Walter
says
is
he has like 1,000 photos.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta see that camera roll dump. Uh,
Walter is totally right. Listen,
Walter.
I was so entertained talking to my friends. Dude, we were staying like awake to till like 4 a.m., at the reception, just talking, like drinking, chatting, whatever. It was so fun and hilarious because the day one when we stay at the reception and the people from the hotel saw that amount of alcohol that was there, dude, they got scared and they're like, oh my god, these guys, most of them look like bikers or something like that, they're gonna destroy this place. And it was totally the opposite.
Yeah.
Like, it was like such a great environment, and people were super chill, and people were helping the people from the hotel and everything. It was, at the end of the day, that's why make the horsemen make the decision, or Jeremy and Joe Viteri, to make the decision to do the con again in the same place, because people were like blowing away on how good the crowd was.
But you
You know?
mentioned a couple of things like um, there was no ease of access like we had last year to go to different places to eat and stuff like that because there's a freeway really close to it, and there was really not a lot of um, like walking area that you could just kind of go somewhere.
Yes.
So you were kind of stuck with whatever was at the hotel, or you had to get an Uber, right?
Correct, correct. It was this. I totally forgot the name of the supermarket. I don't remember. It was a Wally's, Walgreens. I don't remember. It was a big, big supermarket, kind of like Whole Foods, and they have like different type of food inside, like restaurants and stuff. It was humongous, and it was kind of like, I will say, 5 minutes driving
Yeah, he
from
says
the hotel.
1.5 miles across the way Walter says.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was really close to the hotel,
Right.
but you need a car to get there because of the highway, right?
Right.
Or if you take an Uber, but I was doing Uber Eats at the hotel also, but the
Oh,
hotel has like a very nice restaurant. They have like a pub, Irish pub. The food was amazing. The price was okay. It wasn't like super expensive.
right.
They have breakfast also, like buffet style. It was like $20, which is fine. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. The place is amazing.
Wagman.
Wagman, yes, Wagman. That's the place. The food was delicious, dude. Carlos was my
Road
road
warrior.
warrior. The food was delicious. They have like burgers, sandwiches, sushi, Oriental food, pizza, everything. So I mean, and it was really close, very convenient next to the hotel.
Hmm. That's awesome. I mean, you know what's funny? It kind of reminds me of um, back in, I don't remember the exact year now, but the first Star Wars celebration, right? It was held in Denver, Colorado. I hopped on a plane and I went there. I had to be there for that. And it was an awesome experience because same thing. It was like, fans, Star Wars fans from all over the place, from different countries, from all over the US. And I knew absolutely nobody, dude. And I met some really awesome people. I made some great friends there, had a great time, and I literally went from the hotel to the con, from the hotel to the con. I didn't go anywhere aside from that. I ate at the con. I lived, breathed, and sweated, Star Wars Celebration. So I get it when you're so immersed in something like that, um, you just don't think about anything else but being there and just talking to people and just making friends and just chatting it up, because everybody is there for the same purpose. They're fans of the line and fans of awesome customs.
Look at Walter. Yeah, the drive was kind of like crazy, dude. We were going like around the highway. It was insane, and you can't take turns to the left in Jersey. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah, you can. So if you get out on the highway, the easy way was to take a left and you will be right there at the supermarket, right? But you
But you can't
can't.
take the left.
No, you need to take a right and then go
All
around.
around,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
So
it's crazy.
so lefts are like against the law there, basically.
Yeah, they're not allowed. They're not
That's
allowed.
that's weird. I guess because of the way the streets are set up and stuff. But yeah, man, I can't wait to do this next year. I'm there for sure, like 200%. But I want to talk about something else that you partook in, which was GCon. And
Mhm.
that's completely different because that's such an awesome time because you're actually there when they officially reveal to the public for the first time the new
Yes.
toy line. So um, another thing that it's in my bucket list that I definitely want to do, mainly because of my endeavors in the art field and stuff like that. I want to do intern for a day so bad because um, I know the Horsemen. I know both Erics. They've known me for a long time, but they know me as the toy reporter guy. They don't know about my art skills. So I really want to be behind the scenes and see how these toys are fabricated, how they're painted, how they're digitally sculpted, the whole behind the scenes process. I want to be able to experience that and learn from people like Nate and Eric, of all this awesome stuff that goes on behind the scenes to make such an awesome toy line that we're like rabid fans of. So I'm hoping, man, to get into intern for a day next year, and I'll
Yeah,
freaking book like all
that's
fucking
the
week
goal.
in Jersey, dude.
That's
Like,
the goal. That's the goal to be like. That's my goal also. Man, it's super fun. Yeah, it's intern is super fun. I saw the pictures and everything. These guys, and I was at the hotel when they arrived, and they were telling me everything about it. They were showing me pictures. It was so excited. Um, but definitely next year we should try to get into the intern of a day.
I know
Like,
it's like a lottery or
yeah,
something because I applied for it last year. Obviously, I didn't do it this year because I wasn't gonna go. Um, oh, Walter says, "Well, I know a guy."
I know a guy
Walter,
too.
dude,
I know a guy too.
if
So
you get me in an intern for a day,
I love
brother,
I love that. I know a guy. I, so so one of the really like cool stuff about the internet is like you said that you have the opportunity to be there firsthand and check everything
and dude,
how
sorry
how
to
it
sorry to
how it's
interrupt,
everything's
but
made.
no toy company does that. No fucking toy company. The Four Horsemen are geniuses for and that's I think one of the reasons why the fandom for the Horsemen has grown so much because they're welcoming fans and customers to their headquarters, dude. Like that's something that you have to be in the press or be like a well-known toy tuber or something like that to get that behind the scenes access at a toy company, and it's very rare. Like only Pixel Dan has done that at Mattel, and I have been invited by Randy Falk to go to NECA and even take my son, but that was years ago, and I haven't been able to talk to the guy in very long. But it's something that this whole intern for a thing, it's such a different experience, because one thing is to see a documentary, of how toys are made, uh, buy the toys, but to actually be there and see how they paint the stuff, see how they design the stuff, see all the prototypes of previous toy lines that they've done, like 2000X Motu, DCUC figures, Stactions, Gothropolis, all that awesome shit that the
Crazy.
Horsemen have created. To see that firsthand, it's freaking amazing, dude.
No, yeah, like actually now that Walter is watching the show, like I'm gonna tell you something. The really the best thing to me, what he said.
We can have a great time. He says they changed how they do intern a lot over the past few years. It's fun, and we will have to go. Hey,
Yeah,
man, I'm
like
there, dude.
one of the things that really steal the show at GCon was the end of the show. The gift surprise that Walter gave to the Four Horsemen, which he had a friend, um, great guy, amazing guy. I was able to have dinner with him, his wife, Walter, and his family. He's one of Walter's best friends. Uh, Dude, he made this sword, the Either Blade.
Oh, I saw pictures of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He made the Either
lightsaber.
Blade. That was Walter's gift for the Four Horsemen, and man, that was insane. I was able to hold the sword in my hands, super heavy, and beautiful, beautiful moment when Walter give the horseman that gift.
Paul Sut.
And Paul saw, yes, he's a great guy, dude. He's a great, such a beautiful guy, dude. Like his soul and everything is like amazing. Great guy, dude. Great guy. Everything about it. And yeah, I mean, it was a surprise for everybody, and nobody was expecting that. To be honest with you, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment, but it's like we said. I should have just joined you guys.
Send them the link.
Yeah, send him the link. Send him the link.
Rob Zamora, what's up, man?
What's up, dude? How's everything? How's everything? Are you sending the link to Walter?
Let me hold on.
Go ahead.
Let me grab my phone real quick.
So the talking about the GCon and everything, like yeah, it was really really cool. I mean, I need to thank Walter because Walter sneaked me in on the GCon, and as he told me, he's like, don't worry about it, I got you. So I was able to have like pretty much I was right there in front, and man, and I saved a place for Steven. So Steven was next to me. It was really really cool. And but yeah, dude, I mean, the whole experience was like having like a really cool vacation with your family, but a big family. You know what I'm saying?
Check your DM, Walter.
Check your DM, my friend. It was really really amazing, dude. It was really amazing, and I was blown away the size of the place. To be honest with you, Jorge, it was really good. It was huge. It was
Yeah.
huge. Yeah,
No, when you told me that it was as big as PowerCon, dude, that thing was massive.
it was pretty close. I would say it's the same size as PowerCon from last year.
Okay.
It was kind of
Oh,
like
so
that size.
the one in Anaheim. No, the one in Ohio, you're
The
saying.
one in Ohio, the first one I went.
Oh, okay, the first one. Not the one we went to together.
It's the same place. The only thing was like this year they opened more space, right?
Okay.
So it's pretty similar to the first PowerCon in Ohio. So pretty
Oh,
similar the size.
got
It
it.
was it was insane, dude. And you have so many companies there. It was, dude. I have the opportunity to talk to Ricky, the owner of um
Plunderlings?
Plunderlings, dude. Such a great guy. And guess what? He live in Miami.
Really?
Yeah, he lives in Miami, dude.
That's
And
crazy.
he's Latino, and we were talking. Such a great guy, dude. Super good guy. Amazing guy. Amazing guy.
It's a
Yeah.
small world, huh?
Oh yeah, totally, dude. We were talking a lot. I introduced him to Jeremy and Marco from Meta Travelers.
Yeah.
So they were talking, and I mean, I had a great time with Marco and Jeremy, dude. We stayed till 2 a.m. talking to CJ. It was me, Marco, CJ, and Jeremy. Uh, Man, it was amazing. With us, it was Joe Viteri at one point, but he left. It was such a great conversation, dude. And Joe Viteri, dude, that guy, top, amazing guy, dude. Such a great guy,
That's awesome.
such a great guy.
Yeah, man. I'm so jelly, bro. I really wanted to go. And my wife was like, "Man, you should have gone." But it just I really didn't have the financials to pull it off. Next year for sure with planning and everything, that's gonna be a for sure trip for me. Um, I think you and I we should just get a room and you know do that shit for sure, man.
Definitely. Listen, you asked me about if I got any custom. I need to thank Toy Bro Jared, dude. He got the only custom figure that I wanted in the whole con, and he was able to buy the figure before me.
Oh shit, which one was it?
Dude, it was like a custom knight from Anything Possible. Anything Possible, great figure, dude. It was my favorite combination of colors. It was the Vorgus head with the horns, the black horns, and it was all red with black, and all wear and tear armor with a little like um with a little loincloth, red loincloth on underneath, like with soft goods. Dude, it was beautiful, the figure. And fun fact,
Was it red, black, and gray? Rob Zamora says.
yes, it was that one. So fun fact, uh, I was at GCon next to Steven, right? And we were talking at one moment, we were like, oh, dude, are you getting any custom? And I knew that was the figure I wanted, right? Since before the con, because I saw a picture of the figure, and I knew it would be there. So I never like told anybody, and Steven tell me like, yeah, this is the only custom I want, and it was the same figure. So when Steven showed me the figure, I was like, okay, he asked first. So I was like, dude, the figure is yours. And I showed him the picture I had. That was the figure I was looking for. He's like, oh my God. And I was like, don't worry, dude. I'm not going to fight with you over that figure. It's all yours. And at the end of the day, I was pretty much, Steven was third in line in the
Rob
main
says
line.
how much was that figure going for?
Well, that figure was $200.
$200. Okay.
That figure was $200.
That's probably what
So
it's like. The average was like between 150 to
yeah,
200 for customs, right?
yeah, that's the average between 150 to 200 to 50, something like that.
Not
But
bad.
fun fact, Steven was third in line. I was fourth in line, right? And I was like, Steven, don't worry. I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna. That's your figure, because I was rushing to the game table, the Either Blade game.
Yeah, War of the Ether Blade.
Yes, I was rushing there because they had the 2-pack and I didn't have the 2-pack. So they have a limited quantity of the 2-pack. So I was like, I'm gonna be able to snatch one there.
Oh, Rob picked up an Emil.
What happened?
Rob picked up an Emil Wickman custom. He says, I paid more.
Which one you got?
Which one did you get, Rob?
I know Chris because I stay with Chris at his room. I know Chris got the Green Ranger.
Yeah.
And that was a special order. He actually asked for that a year in advance.
Yeah, that's
for
cool.
that figure. Yeah. And Anthony McNeil got the Magneto.
Oh, Walter has an Emil also. Cool.
Damn. No, yeah, like I would love to have
Emil made me cry.
I will love to have an Emil action figure, to be honest with you, but I actually don't know. Like, I don't know if I want an homage figures because that's his specialty, or an actual custom made figure on my taste. You know what I'm saying?
That has nothing to do with anything.
Yes, correct. He had a giant there, and it was beautiful.
Oh, Walter got the Battle Beast custom.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Dude, Walter, did you have those when you were a kid? I remember those, man. I loved Battle Beast.
It was actually two Battle Beasts, right?
Two. I sent it to your DM, Walter, in Instagram. Do you prefer me to send it to you on Facebook?
So yeah, like I would love to have an Emil figure. I will say if I'm gonna get an Emil figure that is an homage, needs to be Thor or needs to be He-Man. One of the two.
That's what I figured. And you would get an Anti-Eternia He-Man.
An Anti-Eternia He-Man from Emil. That would be great, dude. That would be great. But yeah, I mean, I need to talk to Emil.
It to you through Facebook, Walter.
I need to talk to Emil to see. I know, dude, McNeil, it was so hilarious because Anthony McNeil, his favorite character is Magneto, right?
Did he get the Magneto?
He got the Magneto from Emil.
Dude, that thing is sick.
I show him the Magneto, and he's like, I don't want to look. And I was like, dude, it's still available. And he's like, what? He bought it right away.
I wonder how much that was. Like 300?
I think it was like 350 or so, something like that. Yeah, it was something like that. That was a meal, right? I mean, it's a meal. So yeah, it was beautiful. But dude, it was so many talent there. Like, it was incredible, dude. Like, you have like so cool that you have Andy Spinks there. Andy.
Rob got a Zorro custom from Lenny.
Nice. Andy was the one who made my Masters of the Universe Classics customs.
I'm getting a transmission here from
who's here?
The man himself. What's up?
Walter,
what is up, man? What's up, my brothers? Man, I was watching you guys. I saw you were up. I was like, hell yeah, there's my dude, and I gotta jump on, and I start texting, and I just talk a lot, so I was
Thank you so much, dude.
And then you guys were like talking about all the stories and everything, I was just like, oh man, I'm gonna just jump in and comment and have a good time.
Awesome, bro.
Like,
the baby's right there.
Yeah, that's my wiener dog.
Walter, so tell me, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I want your impression, like, about the whole con. Like,
Oh
what
man.
what's your take about the whole con, the whole weekend?
Honestly, there was ups and downs and highlights and excitement and all the fun stuff. I mean, brother, like just excited seeing you and your enthusiasm and just like I knew it would be that way. That's why I told you, you gotta come. I'll get you there. You came, you came to GCon, had a great time. To see you like anxiously like sitting there, like you should have seen him. Like he's sitting there holding his stuff and everything, and he's just waving and like a kid in line for the first ride of the day at Disneyland. And for GCon and just the excitement and seeing him. But I know I'm gonna tell this story real quick. But I like I said, the excitement to see you, Carlos, was just genuine and made me happy that you came. And then to see you like running across and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go get in line. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. You're like, you're here with me. Like, you're my guest. Like, so the interns started walking in and on the day of GCon and I came back out to find you and you were waiting in line patiently. And I just like pointed at you and I'm like, come here. And like, he came running over like he had just been picked out of the line, to get in, and everybody got in. So, but it was nice to see, my friend to run up, go in with the interns right with them, and then to have all the people that were extra. We had so much room and so much space at that venue that everybody that showed up got in and had a seat. And there were still plenty of empty seats and people standing on the outside. We didn't even. I mean, there was a lot of people there. Like the intern alone, there was like 75 interns. Wow. It was really amazing because a lot of people brought friends and family and extra guys and family members like C. Jessam had showed up. I had obviously showed up with my family, George, and a lot of other people showed up with their family. But to see those folks come in and then still have plenty of room, and then everybody that was waiting in line, that was like the non-interns and the people that were just hanging out, to run in and get a seat and get comfortable and still have plenty of room. We probably could have fit more than maybe 300 people in that room. I don't know what the capacity of that room was, but it was not full. And it made a world of difference. But to see Carlos come running in and just have a great excitement on his face was that made my day, like for that day, let alone, like all the stuff that you guys had talked about and, got me excited when I was watching your video and your interviews and talking with each other. I was like, man, I got to text in. Like, this is you guys, like, I'm still like revved up from it. Like I took about, yeah, that's awesome.
I'm rocking this.
My son has his shirt on too.
You give me Jorge's, so
yeah,
it's right here.
That's awesome.
Make sure you give that to him.
Yeah, sure.
You got to give that to him. You better share. So, but it was genuine excitement the whole time. It was thrilling. It was fun. It was just a good experience. I don't think I could remember like one moment that I was just like, man, this part sucks. It's just, it was all exciting. It was just crazy. Like I have like, I'm pretty sure I had, I edited, it took me 4.5 hours on one of the flight home, to go through all my photos.
Wow.
I mean, I sat on the plane and I usually, I genuinely dread like flying and getting stuck there. And I'm in the back of the plane by myself flying home from New Jersey, at super late at night. And then you got to fly in, and I flew into Phoenix and then another 2-hour flight. And then I had to, wait for an Uber ride home. And I didn't get home till like 2 o'clock in the morning. Hey. And
you were flying with your family back?
No, my family actually flew back early.
Okay.
And here's the other dog. He's jealous. My family flew back a day early because my son had to go to school on Monday. And
Okay.
then my wife had to work Monday, and they got in at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and all that kind of stuff. So they had to get back, and otherwise it was, there's no way they could have done it. And I was lucky enough to, like, I'm self-employed, I can do what I want, and I told all my customers, like, hey, I'll see you like next week, and all that kind of stuff. So it made a world of difference that I was lucky enough to like stay and take up the extra bed at Dennis Derby's room, and help him pack up and get stuff going so he could get home the next day. And it was nice. It was just to sit there and not feel rushed and race out the door Sunday night, especially after all the craziness that went on Sunday during the day. I spent, 5 hours almost straight standing in front of the ogre, signing autographs and taking pictures with everybody and all my friends, and just meeting people. And it was just an awesome time. Like I said, I could think on like one or two things that I was kind of bummed out about, but nothing worth mentioning. It was just some personal things where you can't do everything.
Yeah.
There's, like, for me, especially for this show and what was going on, and the tribute and everything else, and my family being there, and I was there since Tuesday. So, like, you can't physically do it. I was like Tuesday through Monday. I spent a week at New Jersey and had a good time. But you physically cannot do everything. And excuse me, I got the hiccups. You can't physically be everywhere and do everything. But the stuff that I did was just exciting. It's like, like you said, I was lucky enough to get like an MO custom that somebody had commissioned to make and give to me. And like he would not tell me when I first showed up on, I think it was like the Saturday or Friday when he was setting up. And I came over to talk to him, and he was putting all the figures out, and I was like, wow, these are amazing. And he was telling me real quick, and he's like, and I go, wow, I was like, is any of these for sale? And he's like, he looked at me like, no, he's like, his eyes were like this big, and he was just awestruck, and he's just like, no, Walter. And, in his heavy accent, he's like, no, these are all sold out and sold. And I'm like, I'm picking up some of the Battle Beast ones that I've seen him do. He's privately shown me and posted online. And I'm like, you, like, and I'm like cursing at him now, just messing with it. I'm just like, you effing sold these? I'm like, God's sakes. Like, I wanted to try to get one. And he looked at me. He looked at me like I just like cornered him and was just like, I'm like, you sold all these? And like he was genuinely like, oh my God, I just pissed off Walter. Like, and I'm like, of all your customs, everything, like, like, I'm like, who has these? I'm like, who'd you sell? And I'm like looking around, I'm like yelling out loud. I'm like, who bought these and what's going on? And he had this general like panic look on him, and he's telling me, he's like, I can't tell you. I'm like, tell me. I'm like, because like I'm gonna find out, and I need to talk to those people because I need one of these Battle Beasts and this and that.
I think I was there when you were telling him that, dude.
Yeah,
I remember that you're like, it doesn't matter who bought it, I'm gonna buy it from there.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, I don't care who bought it, like, let me know, because I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna buy it from them, because I'm like, I need a couple of these. And then at one point he just kind of like he finally kind of broke down and was just like, he's like, well, actually, one of these is for you. One of these is for you. And I kind of stopped and looked at him like shockingly. I looked at him like shockingly, and I'm pretty sure like Carlos was still there. I kind of like blanked out as soon as he said that. But
I was there with you. Now I remember. I was there with you.
I'm good. I'm glad. I honestly recorded it at one point because I told Emma, I said, I'm never going to remember this, because I kind of blanked out in shock and then was like just kind of teary-eyed. And he goes, actually, and his just he's just such the nicest guy.
Yeah.
And he's
Oh damn, we lost him for there.
The internet, yeah.
He
Man.
dropped for a minute and then he came back really quick.
oh,
We got you back.
All right.
hang on, I got a phone call coming. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, what am I doing? Here we go. I'll be right back.
All right.
Don't worry. Yeah, I think he's already out.
He's like,
So yeah, like it was really impressive because now I remember I was with Walter when he asked Emil about the figures, and at the end of the conversation, Emil told him one of the figures were for him.
oh,
So I remember he was telling Emil, "Tell me who bought these figures because I'm gonna buy them from them." So yeah, it was really impressive. But as I say, it was a lot of talent, dude. Like there, it was. I mean. You have Eric Miller there. Eric Miller has, like, dude, he had this horse that was an homage to the carousel horses from Disney. That was insanity, dude. And of course, he had the Ninja Turtles, like the Crank.
Is that the same guy that did the Hatbox Ghost from Haunted Mansion?
Yes.
Eric Miller. I loved his stuff.
Yeah, Eric Miller is
he did a Haunted Mansion, the Maiden, and the Crocodile from the paintings that stretch.
He's
that last year.
He's insane, and yeah, I mean, you have so much talent there, guy. Like, it was insane. I was trying to look everywhere, and I got lost, like, of so many custom heads, custom figures. I mean, dioramas. What's up? He's back.
He's back.
We got you back.
All right.
I think we can hear you. Like,
oh, it's on mute.
I had it on mute. My bad.
All right. No worries.
The way you didn't hear me rambling in the background or anything.
So yeah, I was telling Jorge, like, how overwhelming was the fact that you have so many talented people there together. Like, you have Emil, you have Eric Miller.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was. I told Jorge. At one point, I was like, where should I go? Because it was insane. It was insane.
I genuinely. So my biggest, like, if you can call it a problem, is that you have your friends and your close friends that I talk to and have my phone number, and then I have the people that I talk to online, and I have the people that I'm genuinely excited to see what they make. Like my friend Art, he was in the back corner. I want to say he's from Thailand. He's a very thin man. And he's just the nicest guy. But he was in the far back corner next to Big Head Studios, and they had a bunch of nice stuff. And Art had a lot of, like, Medusa characters and angels and demons. Yeah,
he had the with the black wings.
Yes.
And his custom heads, he was impressive, dude.
He's just a nice human being. He does, in my opinion, like, amazing work, and he sells stuff. And I brought several people over to him when I had a minute to, like, get away, and he has several things that he made for the show. My friends bought like $1,000 worth of his stuff because they were just blown away. And he's just such a nice man that where he's, like, embarrassed to charge people what he's charging. And I'm telling him, I'm like, you like, another artist that I had with me, I'm like, you should be like charging more. And he's such a nice, humble man, but he was selling figures like the angel of death and his Medusa ones. He sold like the Medusa ones for like 3 figures for like $700. And there must have been $150 worth of parts on each figure. And then he's painting them. Yeah. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh my God, there's like no way he's making money off of this. But he was so happy to see people and see me come by and talk to them and sell his customs, that he was just genuinely happy about it. But there's people like that, like Eric Miller and Emil and Curtis and all these guys that just make such great stuff. You could spend like an hour in each booth talking to everybody, and I mean, you'd have to like learn time travel, because you need all that extra time just to talk to all these guys and see every detail and things like that. And I'm talking like, Jeremy's booth had figures that I hadn't seen before. And, and stuff that he had on, and he posts pictures online. Emil had a lot of his customs, like I was saying earlier, where he made the Battle Beast figures that I was like yelling at him over, going like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you sold these! I wanted just one." And then it turns out like he had actually been commissioned by somebody to make it for me, and he wouldn't tell me who it was until the guy was there, and I was like an emotional wreck by then, because like here I was just giving him such a hard time, and then he's telling me, he goes, "Actually, this one's for you." And I'm sitting there going, "Well, what do you mean it's for me? I haven't paid for anything." And I'm just like, he's like, "No, this figure I made for you because it was commissioned for you." And it's the Battle Beast, the grizzly bear that I have tattooed on my leg, that I named my son his nickname. And it's like one of my favorite figures from the 80s that I probably have 100 of them. And here he is. And I'm like, and I had to stop, and I was rambling like I do. And I go, "I need you to like, let me record you explaining this, because I won't remember this." And I was just like tearing up and just like couldn't talk. And but it was just such an exciting show, man. I'm still like amped up from it. I've just been going through my photos, and like I said, I spent like 4 hours just, on the flight home, looking over all my photos and cropping things and editing it. I mean, I posted up on my own personal page 160 photos of just selfies that I've taken so far, of me standing in front of the ogre and stuff like that, and getting those pictures out there. I can't even tag everybody because there's just so many of them that I was.
Tell me, you took a picture with the pig.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, what's her name? Oh crap. I want to say I'm gonna get the. Excuse me. I want to say it's Kristen or something like that. I'm going to get her name wrong, and I'm going to be embarrassed about it. But
no, it was hilarious.
She was so hilarious that she got dressed up as the pig, and then the whole weekend I had mentioned online, and she had filled up her vehicle with her friends, and they came out from the south, and they had a cooler full of beer, and then she made a small cooler of all the beer that I like to drink.
From Buffalo.
All my crappy beer that I love to drink.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they were giving beers to everybody. That was so nice from them, dude.
They brought like cases of beer, and she ended up bringing a small beer, and I have a picture of it, and it was like, it said some beer on it for Walter, and it was just because that's all I kept saying. I was like, just bring some beer. I was not particular, and sure enough, she like 3 nights in a row would follow me around, or just not too far away, where she was just like, just outside, and she would come up and pop up, and she's like, "Hey, you're running low," and hand me a beer. Like I was like dumbfounded and just blown away that somebody would do that. And her and her girlfriend and their everybody that was with him we just thought that was the funniest damn thing in the world because they just couldn't believe it. Like they just were just genuinely excited to be like my beer caddy. You know what I mean? I was just I'm just joking about it the whole time that I can't believe somebody would go out of their way to do that. You know what I mean? So
it was crazy, Jorge, because listen, it was like so much alcohol there, dude.
oh my god, yeah.
It doesn't matter. You didn't actually need to worry about buying alcohol because every 5 minutes, somebody approached you like with a beer, with whiskey, with bourbon,
Mead,
whatever. Dude. Everybody was like, "Hey, here you go, Jorge. Hey, here you go. Hey, here you go. Wine." Dude, it was insane, dude.
Wow.
It was insane.
and people that had hey puppies, come here. Sorry, my dogs are getting around the house. Everything from beer, mead, vodka, drinks, and everybody was like expensive booze to my crappy Coors Light and PBR, and everybody was just generally super nice and having such a good time, and it would just blow me away, you know. Come on, puppies, come on.
Yeah, it was such a great time, and I like the fact like this year they made actually 3 different lines, which was amazing. One for the exclusive outside the venue. I mean, outside the actual place where the con was. They have a regular general admission for the people who wanted to check the custom figures and booth first, and another line for the Four Horsemen table, which that was amazing because you didn't have that humongous line outside the venue like last year, remember?
Yeah, it was genuinely exciting.
It was
That's
really
a good thing because you don't, you can pick kind of where you want to go.
yes.
I know primarily you, Carlos, you wanted to go to the general admission, right? Because you wanted
Yeah.
the customs.
I was going to general admission because anyways I wanted to get like the walkthrough really fast, the videos, the interviews and stuff. So I want to get rid of that part like really soon and have the opportunity to talk to people. But to me mainly, and you asked me like what was the highlight of the whole con. To me it was like talking to people, sharing time with my friends, and that to me was priceless. Over action figures, over everything else, was mainly sharing with my friends.
Yeah. No,
That's that.
definitely. I know when I went last year, I don't know half of the people but everybody was so nice and accommodating and helpful and friendly, and it's just an awesome time um, all around. So I'm definitely looking forward to next year's show for sure, man. And this time around, it's gonna be awesome because I'm gonna go, just me and wife's gonna stay home, so I'll get to do those late night hangs and stuff with you and stuff and just looking forward to that big time.
Where are you going? I missed that. I had to.
Oh,
Excuse
Legion
me.
Con.
Oh
No,
yeah,
he
yeah.
said like next year that he wants to hang out, like like stay with everybody. I mean, you have no other option, dude. It was like so loud at the reception that like the only option is to go down to the reception and be with the people. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it
There was
was
no other option.
ironically, like the hotel staff didn't care and they appreciated us and said what a great group we were, and and there was no real complaints. You know,
No, yeah.
I went there early, and I talked to the hotel staff about it, and I said, if anything comes up, I said, you let me know. I said, I'm like, don't call Joe, don't call Jeremy, don't call anybody. I said, here's my number, call me or come find me. I said, within a day or two, you'll understand and you'll see me. And I said, all these people I know. I said, they're in my group, they're this, and I explained the whole thing. And the first day, they kind of looked at me like, oh, yeah, sure. There's this goofy looking guy with flip flops and this dirty ass sweater and everything else like I dress. And
You're
it
like the
always,
dude of Mythic Legions, bro.
yeah. I heard that so many times this past week, you wouldn't even believe me. But people were just, the management and all the hotel staff, they would joke about it and they go, oh, okay, you know, the first like 2 days. And I said, when you watch, and I said, you understand. I said, what's going to happen is you're going to see all these people and they're going to show up with this on their shirts. You know, they're going to be walking around with this logo, and people are going to be talking about it, and they're going to be walking around, and everybody's going to be genuinely happy and excited and everything else. And they kind of, you know, nodded and said, oh, okay, you know, it's nice to meet you, Walter. Within a day, maybe 2 days, and you have people like my friend here. My camera's moving around. Like my friend Carlos here that comes in and immediately gives me the biggest hug in the world and is just almost teary-eyed to see me because he's so excited that I'm here and he's there and he's getting to share the experience, not including like everything else we did after that, but to see me the first time and to see people. And I would tell the hotel staff, and I said, that's respect and friendship and loyalty of just having a good time that I'm willing to share and be with everybody and have a good time. And they started to get it. And then within about Wednesday night and Thursday night, that's when it really started to ramp up, and people had, you know, started filling in more and coming back from intern, and they're coming and getting ready for the late night festivities and going into G-Con. And the hotel went from like a mild, you know, people coming and going for, you know, the different conferences that are there locally, you know, accountants and businessmen, to all of a sudden
Weddings.
Weddings, to, you know, within a day, there's 200-300 people in the lobby that are just talking and excited, and oh my God, there's Carlos, there's Walter, there's George, and there's Dennis, and all these people that we all know from online, and they're just genuinely excited to see everybody. And it went from like a simple to like, holy crap, there's a good time in the lobby. And not one time, maybe once, did the management come over to me and they said, hey, we feel terrible, but we got to close down the fire pit. And I went out to the fire pit. I said, hey, everybody, we got to come inside. And everybody stopped what they were doing. They cleaned up. They came inside. There was no argument. And we all went inside and hung out the lobby. And then at midnight.
That was one of the things that I think the staff from the hotel got really surprised. The day that, remember, I think it was the Thursday night or Friday night, that we were at the reception and they were like, oh guys, you need to move down the hall, whatever. And we start helping this lady picking up all the bottles, the beer and everything, everything on the garbage, make sure that everything was super clean.
Within 5 minutes.
Yes, they got really surprised on how people were reacting, you know, like, because other people can get mad, or you know how people is.
Oh yeah, within 5 minutes, it was around midnight. There was probably 150 in the people in the lobby, no exaggeration. And within a few minutes, I come in there and we all kind of yell out real quick and go, hey everybody, we need to move down the lobby and go down a little further. And I just kind of go, we need to go down this way. That was simple as that. 150 people stopped what they were doing, picked everything up. Half of the people went to bed. The other half, we stayed up till 4 a.m. drinking, and which I'm surprised I survived. But the other half went down the lobby, further down by all the signs and everything. And we were there till 5 a.m. And you look back at the lobby, there was no sign of anything that we had left behind. With 150 people or so there that couldn't believe it.
House, what's up, Emerald Knight?
But they couldn't believe that we had picked everything up, thrown it away, cleaned up, wiped the tables, put the furniture back, and then we moved down the lobby. And they were there for another 3 or 4 hours. And the bar manager and the hotel manager that was on duty at that time like looked at me like, wow, like they just said thank you to me, went back and they finished up their duties and their shift. And like I said, we were down the lobby for a few more hours and just had a great time and stayed up super late. I ended up breaking into somebody's room and jumping on them in the middle of the night, but that's a whole different story.
Remember when you recruit me and a bunch of other guys, like 7 more guys?
Yeah, yeah. I got that video too. Yeah, we went and grabbed a bunch of friends, and we went and grabbed one of my other friends and drug him out of bed. I yelled out and I said, I need a few guys. And I think we must have had about 15, 20 guys. And one of our friends had been drinking all day. And I said, hey, he's asleep upstairs. We need to get him out of bed. It's like 6 p.m, 7, 8 o'clock or whatever. I'm like, that is crap. He needs to come back down here. So I come over and I just start grabbing people. I go, hey, there was about 3 or 4 guys that have met me for the very first time. And they go, Walt, you said you need help? I'm ready to go. And I go, well, I need to drag somebody out of bed because my buddy's asleep and he's passed out and he doesn't need to be. He's missing out on this. So we all went upstairs and broke into his room basically and woke him up from being passed out. And he jumped up and he's flailing around and we're grabbing him, telling him to get out of bed. And he's fighting us back. And we ended up getting him to come back downstairs to come finish the night with us. So
that was hilarious, dude. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I did that about 3 times. So
Walter, I got a question for you, man.
Sure.
Like, talking about G-Con, to you, what was the highlight of the G-Con figure-wise?
That's what I was gonna say.
What's your favorite figure out of the G-Con, the new wave?
I was gonna pull up that page right now.
You know, I was obviously work for the studio and I do my thing and like I knew about some of it ahead of time and I was lucky enough to see certain things ahead of time with the studio and at the studio with everybody. There were certain, like I saw a lot of the heroes. I saw the heroes first, and I was at dinner. I was at a dinner with somebody, and we were sitting there talking about this kind of stuff, and I was, like I said, I was fortunate enough to see certain things ahead of time. Most of it was the heroes. So I saw the heroes first, and then I started to see like the villains that day of the G-Con because I went behind. I get to go behind the curtain, pull the curtain back, if you will, and I saw the bear. I was able to see the bear ahead of time, but I seen it in photos, and I was blown away. And my friend Jeremy, obviously, we were talking about this. He had shown me, and the bear, he's told me it's huge. It's like the size of a dog. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh my God. Like I have my 2 new puppies that are running around the house right now. That's why I'm moving around. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, could you imagine having an action figure like this big and, all this other stuff and seeing the photos for the first time. And I'm like, I don't think I can handle that. That's insane. So I'm genuinely excited for like the bear the most because, I think for the past couple years they've talked about it and I've heard about it, but it's never it's never come, come to reality up until now.
Yeah,
So
I think I'm right there with you. But also the combination of Atlas and the bear,
yeah.
just having that kind of steed, it's
Oh
like
yeah.
holy shit.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that's one person you don't want to fuck with. That
it's
riding a
it's
grizzly.
yeah, it's just it's crazy no matter how you look at it. It's just genuinely like holy shit. Like that bear is the size of a troll action figure, but that bear is gigantic.
It's actually
Um,
taller than the troll, and I took the picture next to each other, and
Yeah, when it stands up on
it's a
its
hair it's a hair taller than the troll. It's crazy.
yeah, it's basically the same size as a troll, depending on which troll and how you pose it, obviously. But the bear is like legitimately a giant figure. It's just like holy crap. That's
You you know what was like what really surprised me, because sometimes I need to look and like things from other aspect, right? Like how the Four Horsemen managed to keep that price on those figures. Let's say especially that bear, because that bear had more articulation than the trolls, and
it's
and, and
yeah,
that figure is $80, dude.
yeah, it is. It's kind of a like when I talk to the guys about it, it's a juggling act of like how are we gonna do this, but they know they know they're gonna make they know they're gonna make it because the fans are gonna come out, and they more or less tell me like the fans are there. They've never had problems for the last couple of years hitting the mark to where if they're not afraid to make it is basically what it is.
Yeah.
They're now at that point to where like respectfully and not revealing any secrets or anything, they're not afraid to make something because they know that we're going to buy it, and we're not going to just probably buy one, but we'll probably buy two or three or six of them, because they're just so damn cool that everybody's going to want one on card. They're going to want one for a custom. They're going to want they're gonna want one for display. They're gonna want one for their son. Like I'm already looking at it, going like I think I'm gonna end up with like six of these bears. You know what I mean?
damn.
It's insane, because the question that I asked to Eric was pretty much, so dude, I know you have experience making cats, right? Because they
Yeah,
did Battle Cat for Masters of the Universe Classics.
yeah, I remember. Yeah,
So and I'm like, with the Son of the Red Star, because it's a faction that is really attached to that Oriental, Middle Eastern type of characters. A tiger will fit perfectly in that line.
yeah,
And they told me, well, yes, it is in plan. So I was like, oh wow, imagine that.
Dude, and I'm also thinking about like House of Leo, sir.
hmm
How they've done the different faction characters. Um, I can picture like Leo Sir himself being this massive bipedal lion
yeah,
Yep.
with armor and shit. And like it's just the sky's the limit when you think about the potential and the possibilities and being, creative myself. And I could sit there and fucking probably like sketch up what would be my vision of Leo Sir, you know?
yeah. It's
Uh,
it's they're and the thing is to interrupt for a second. Like I said, they're not afraid to make it anymore because they know that the fans
the
haven't
support is there.
Yeah, they have the support.
they have the support and they're not disappointed. I mean, years ago, you got to remember years ago that it was always on the edge of making it, how they're going to make it. They just had
Yeah.
to keep making things, and people are like, they're shouting at them like, we need a bear, we need a dragon, we need minotaurs, we need giants, we need this, and they're just like, they want to make that like I've seen stuff, and Eric's talked to me about, like, he wants to make all that stuff. He just has to get to it. And the thing is like any of this stuff, like, realistically, they're trying to do smaller waves, and they're trying to do stuff that's affordable, because they don't want to be like Advent of Decay, to where they release like 40 figures and
Yes.
and nobody can afford it, and then they're picking and choosing, and they're pulling things out of one box to do another. And one guy wants to buy like 10 skeletons, but he can't buy all the other stuff because it's so expensive. They don't need these big waves that are like $2,500 or something,
Correct. Yeah, I remember wave one. Wave one was like, man, I don't remember how much I spent on wave one.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I think it was like around over $1,000. I think it was like $1,200 or something like that.
I want to say it was even more. I think it was in the, like, getting close to like $1,500 for the original series.
Yeah, I remember,
I mean, with shipping and everything,
Yeah,
so.
I remember it was really, and I was like, wow. I remember I sold my Masters of the Universe Classics in order to buy the wave one on the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cheap at all, like, so yeah, I totally understand that aspect. Like, and like you said, like, now you have all these customizers, right? And you have
Mm-hmm.
all these people that like to army build.
Yep.
And so it's and the price point. I mean, $37 for a regular figure, that's insane.
Well, even to keep it, for, you go to a con, you go to the show, you go to ZoloCon, you go to Toylanta, when we're selling them for $40. They're like barely upping the price. And that's only because, like, they're just trying to, like, honestly, I think what it is they're trying to do is just even it out, so they can take two $20 bills, and we don't have to give you change, and
Yeah.
it fills in for the shipping costs, and and then we break even, we have a good time. So it's not like they're charging that much money for some of these. It's not like they're charging that much money for this stuff, to where, like, you go to a convention and the horsemen show up, and, hey, oh my God, they have this figure, but holy crap, I can't believe they want, $69 for it, or $75. They're charging what they assume is a great price and affordable,
Yeah.
It is, dude. It is insane how they keep the price that low. And that's one of the questions that I was asking Jeremy. And I was like, dude, after COVID, where everything, all the prices went up, you guys keep the same prices on the figures. And that's really insane. And at the same time, it's like, as a fan, you need to feel thankful.
Yeah,
they care for their fans. They care.
Yeah, and the real reason, and it's not like any reason to be hidden from, or any. The reality of it was the shipping costs went insane. To ship stuff went, and it was like that across the board for everything from shoes to cars to action figures, to where the shipping costs were the main thing that go up, because there's not enough truck drivers, there's not enough people in the harbor, and the last couple of years has been very hard on commerce, to where shipping stuff across America, across the country, to and from China, across everywhere, the shipping costs have gone up. Like, I was told what the shipping costs used to be, and then what it is now, and it could put other companies out of business. But if you just if you adjust it accordingly, and you can keep your fan base and your employees and your people buying it, you may make a little bit less money but it still pays for the shipping to get stuff to the fans and the people and your audience. Your everybody's still happy. You just make a little bit less, and I think, and this is my opinion, is that I think the Horsemen understood that, to where it's like, if we can still get it here, the fans are going to buy it. We'll just have to make it as fair as possible. We'll raise, it went from like $35 to $37. Like, if we raise it a couple dollars and you figure out how many units, that's what we need to do, and it pays for itself. Right. And that's what happened. And it's just a blessing in a sense that, they're not like other companies out there that are like, oh my God, plastic and all this other stuff has gone expensive. We need to charge $50 a figure just to make money and keep our margins up high. The Horsemen are just like, we just want to make sure everybody's happy,
Listen, I think companies doing the total opposite, right? Like, companies who care more about packaging and the actual product actually suck,
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that you're like really, like, when I seen some companies that they put the prototype out, and when you have the final product is a totally different action figure, I'm like, wow, Yeah, and the Four Horsemen, they're always consistent in that manner, and that's what
Not
I
only
love
consistent, but they actually improve.
They care, yeah.
With every wave that comes out, you can see there's new tooling. They're upgrading articulation. They're upgrading the amount of accessories you get with the figures.
Oh yeah.
Look at characters like Scapular. He's basically two figures in one.
Just look at Walter's action figure. Look
Yeah,
how many.
no, that's amazing.
Well,
and that was like a last minute bonus, right? That they
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs of hands.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
And that's like, looking at, like, for example, talking about my personal favorites from the line, I have a few that come to mind. One of them, particularly for me, is the Scapular.
Yeah. The new Scapular is beautiful, dude.
Yeah. But this guy right here, for some reason,
comes with
this guy, dude.
Yeah, that one's cool.
He sticks out big time. And I know that a lot of this came from the Monkey King, but it's just a completely different character, and he looks so fucking cool.
It looks like the best kit. Like, so if you saw it in person, it looks like the best kit bash you'd ever seen. Because all those accessories and parts and things come from the Monkey King, but then it's a completely different character with all color,
right?
All new head sculpt, everything. You're just like, that's you. I mean, it's hard to even compare it to the Monkey King. It's not even.
And it's tons of hands, man. Like, the figures didn't come with so many hands before. You had to get like a hand pack to get the hands.
And look how many years it took just to get a hand pack, because there wasn't a hand pack back in the first couple.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
It took a couple years. I mean, you look at like Coliseum Wave and some of these other figures, there was just the same sword, shield, axe, and then a spear, and then it went like that for quite a while, even into All Stars and everything else. And then now you look at it with just in the last 2 years, there's barely parts being reused, and that's where I go say, like, the Horsemen are not afraid to do stuff anymore.
No,
because they tried to keep it simple. They tried to keep it easy, so that way they could reuse parts and make it to where it's affordable. Because they were, like I said, in my opinion, they were afraid, or potentially it was easier to reuse parts instead of making something completely new, because they were. I mean, it was kind of scary at times because you didn't know if they were going to do good, but the sales kept going and going and going and going.
And now it's just like, let's make it. Like, let's do it. We're not afraid. And I think it really started back like when, like in the Poxis wave or even Alithia. I think the Alithia wave was kind of the just, we're doing this and look at all the stuff that they make.
Look at this guy, dude. This guy is pretty much, everything is like brand new.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very little to nothing been reused. And then you look at something like that and the articulation now that they figured it out even better. I don't know if you watched the Amazing's video recently. He was making him pose and sitting in like a Buddhist meditation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sitting there, and I mean, I wish I could bend that way, for God's sakes. Like, he's sitting there. He's got.
You can achieve so many poses with this guy, dude.
Yep.
Walter, I wanted to ask you. I don't know if you would happen to know, or if anybody mentioned this at the con, but I would love to see this head for scapular with an articulated jaw. Are the horsemen considering that at any point? Because I know because of the removable mask, it makes sense to have the mouth closed.
So,
but it would be awesome to have like an alt face.
They have one, and if you look back at the Necronomus wave, they have a similar head sculpt that does have an articulated jaw, and, stuff like that. But right as of right, yeah, that's
awesome.
That's like, I've never seen a mythic be able to do that without breaking it.
Yeah.
Same, right?
But as for right now, there's nothing that they're changing or adding to. Like, people want that, but because they have the alternate head with it and the face plate, that it's going to have like the mask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, there is like articulated jaw figures and skeletons in like the previous wave, the Necronomus wave. So you have that stuff that and the bone color is established now to where, like, if you get a fit, you could swap it on there, just do it. So
yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, the Krampus figure came with a skull with articulated jaw. It was one of the bonus pieces.
I think on the red. Was it the red or the black?
On the original Krampus.
The black one.
Yeah, on the black one. I don't know about the red one, but yeah, it's
black one came with it because the red one came with the golden helmet.
Okay, yeah. So it was the black one. So yeah, those bonus parts like you're mentioning, yeah. The only thing is, since scapular has that awesome like crown, it would have to be obviously like a kind of built-in skull with just like the front face with an articulated mandible. So I guess that would probably be harder for them to pull off. But yeah, I mean, one of the biggest awesome things that make this toy line so successful is the fact that the pop and swap, functionality that gives people, all this creativity, all these people with ideas to make their own stuff. And I, for one, last year when I went to Legion's Con, I was really like, I came back home like with a shit ton of custom parts and heads and shit. There was this one dude that had like a scratch and dent bag.
Yeah.
I think I paid like $15 or something like that. Dude, I got so many parts. And it was just like little minor cracks here and there. And I came home and I was like, oh, I'm going to do all these fucking customs. But then life hits and then you really don't have all that spare time, to do the stuff. But one custom that I'm working on right now that I'm super excited about is with the Mask of the Red Death. I basically stripped them down and I got this head from Sebasdom.
Yep.
And I got some plans for this guy, dude. I'm gonna do a really sick custom, and I'm already, Carlos already seen the conceptual work and who this is gonna be, but I'm excited, dude. It's gonna be awesome because it's the first time that we're getting these more skinny zombie type bodies, you know?
Yeah, there's so many people doing that now that they have that figure in hand. And then it goes back to it where if you look around, the availability and sorry, I'm getting text messages. The availability and everything else, that figure is still affordable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that have bought it and they bought it loose. They bought parts for the Red Death. They bought the head for $20 or the body for $40-$50, or they traded stuff. You can still get that. It was available at Legion's Con. It's available for sale on some of the retailer shops.
Yeah.
It's available for people buying and trading on the Cabal, and they're like snatching some of these figures up. And now that they have the Red Death, they can sit there and they're like, well, I need another one. Like it ends up being like me. I need a few more so I can make this, this, and this.
Exactly.
I've seen people like an Angel of Death with it, where they put like a thinner skull on it, and he looks kind of creepy and hunched over, and then they've got wings on there, and I'm like, crap. Now I need
Sick.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Talking about like custom heads and stuff like that, I'm gonna tell you right now, the custom head out of the whole con that surprised me the most, and I was so impacted on how much detail and I mean everything about it was perfect, was your friend that you told me from he's from Thailand, whatever, the one.
Arthur.
He did the head for the Vorgus Vermilius. Translucent. The back of the head had like this kind of like marbleization with kind of like brain stuff. Listen, that and the saliva here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Walter.
Oh,
That was insane.
So he had one, and speaking of the same gentleman, is this like Art had on the same table. He blew me away because he was probably the only one that I saw at that table, and he had multiple versions. Was a Thailand style or a Buddhist style Asian influence where it had like the multiple, and I wish I knew the correct the correct term for it, but it had like this demon look to it, and then it had like a very crowned, pointed head.
Yeah, I remember.
And he had multiple colors to it, where it was like, I wish I was more cultured.
Oh, those are called onis. They're Japanese demons.
Well, no, it wasn't an oni, but
oh no,
because I know what I've got an oni tattooed on me, but it had like an oni face to it, but it had like this Thailand type style crown that came to a point, and it was in ogre scale. And I'm sure there's photos of it on his page and everywhere else. He did that in custom head, and I was just blown away by the detail on the figure that this 2-inch style head. And it's definitely one that if you guys spend the time and look up Arthur and his work, I was just amazed by this thing, because I'm like, I hadn't seen anything else like that. I mean, mind you, there was so much stuff to see, and so many people. It's not to take away from anybody, but that was one I had not seen anything like that. So.
Yeah, he was really, really impressive, dude. Like I was like, wow. And especially that Angel of Death, that was to me like, wow, one of the highlights of the whole con.
My friend Jamie, I know exactly where it is. It's in New York, and he bought that. And the other thing, it came with a whole nother set of wings. So he had that on display. You remember, with the wings?
Yeah, it was 4 pair of wings.
Yeah, it came with a whole other set of wings.
Wow.
He had a whole like leathery set of wings too that came with it, doing the same poses. And for the price, I mean, I forget what my friend paid for it, and in the display case, I think he made 2 versions of it, and but it had a black set of feathers, black set of demon leather wings that did the same poses and everything. And he told me the price. I told Jamie, and Jamie was like, "You should be charging more." He's like, "I feel like I need to give you more money," and it was amazing. Like he was the hidden gem and sleeper in the whole con, because he was in the back corner, and he's such a very simple, quiet guy that people were kind of going back there and seeing his stuff, and then just kind of like discovering it, you know.
Yeah, I think for him will benefit him to put him more like towards the front,
Oh yeah,
because his art is really impressive, dude. He's right there with Emil, with Eric Miller, with like Jeremy, with people like that. He and it's so clean,
yeah,
so clean that it was impressive.
yeah, amazing work. And everybody else that I'd run into, like you said, Eric Mill, Emil, Joe. I don't know if you saw Giovanni had stuff there.
Yeah.
I asked him, I'm like, "Where's your stuff?" He goes, "Well, I don't have a full table, but I'm joining in with somebody else." So I ran over there to see it, because last year he was. I brought him as a friend and somebody I felt like needs to be an intern. Yes, and his table so well. He sold out of everything in the first 2 hours. And then this year he said, "I'm just showing stuff. I'm just displaying, you know." But he's and such another nice guy. Apologize.
No, it was so awesome. And also companies like Plunderling, this guy Ricky, he's an amazing guy. Meta Travelers, Jeremy and Marco, man, their booth was insane.
Got mine over here.
Yep.
My son loved meeting Ricky. Ricky's an awesome gentleman and
Super awesome guy.
super nice guy. He was one of my favorites. But I've met him over the years and known him and helped him out, and
so humble.
those kind of.
And dude, I have the opportunity to stay with Marco and Jeremy from Meta Travelers. Man, that was a great time too. Man. And their figures, I mean, they're swappable too. I mean, they're designed by the Horsemen. So yeah, that's, man. I think like it was a great show. I mean, what a great experience.
Yeah, definitely. From what I experienced last year, I was blown away. Creatively, I got a lot of ideas. I came back with, like, I just wanted to hit the ground running, just doing customs and stuff. Like I said, just seeing how everybody's creativity and how everybody puts whatever they're passionate about, incorporating it into the Mythic Legion's lore. It's amazing. I mean, looking at Mythic Customs, they did stuff from Disney, Hellboy, Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah,
like, so many IPs were represented.
Oh my God, those Dead Kings! Wow.
Oh yeah, his giant Balrog troll that he did.
Yeah, dude, that was
Oh
sick.
my God, yeah, that was sick. That was sick.
Yeah,
Like,
I could easily. You could have another 2 or 3 shows and hours of talking about each individual ones that we could. I was genuinely blown away, but everybody has their favorites of what we see and everything. So.
yeah, it was really awesome. Really awesome. So
Well, I'm going to interrupt real quick because my phone is on 5% and I don't have my plug with me.
Oh, no worries, man.
Jump off and say thank you very much for letting
No,
me.
thank you, brother.
thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much for everything.
I'll definitely be hanging with you guys next year.
Yeah, anytime you guys jump on and you want, just text me. You guys,
It will be an honor to have you, dude.
I
All
love
right,
it.
man.
Take
Take
care.
it easy, bro.
I'll talk to you guys later. All right.
All right, man.
Sure. Awesome, Walter, dude.
Yeah, Walter's super awesome guy. I can't wait to hang with him next year.
Oh yeah, he's an amazing host, dude. He's a host.
Switching
Period.
gears a little bit, because this is something that we definitely need to talk about.
Wow.
I know you pre-ordered yours, brother.
Wow. Yes, I did. I think I pre-ordered he was up at 1. I pre-ordered him like at 1:21 because I was busy at work.
So you're getting yours under the Christmas tree, my man.
I hope. I'm crossing my fingers.
You are. I unfortunately I can't afford it right now, and the financing programs that they offer, they're not. I'm not eligible for them at the moment, so it doesn't look, unless I sell Hot Toys or something in the next 4 to 5 days. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this.
You can, dude. Let's sell some stuff.
Well, I have this show coming up at Bits and Buttons, but that's on December 2nd. So I would need to sell something before that. And then the thing is that because of your encouragement and stuff like that, we're getting on the road on Monday and we're driving to Asheville. So
Nice.
we're going to North Carolina, my man. And
So, dude, tell me about this figure.
dude,
Incredible, right?
this is insane. I don't want to say it trumps Battle Cat, because I think for me, Battle Cat is a lot more iconic in the sense that Panthor doesn't have as much screen time in the cartoons as Battle Cat does. Battle Cat, everywhere you look, there's T-shirt, He-Man riding Battle Cat. We know Panthor is Skeletor's steed, but I feel like Battle Cat is, he's the goat of the steeds, But that being said, the work and the detail they put into this guy, like this freaking horned head, horned helmet,
that's amazing,
bro. And then
taking you to Motu classics, right,
dude? And then seeing pictures like this that Raul Barrero did.
Oh, Raul is an inspiration.
Right there, you get a perfect scale of how big fucking Beastman is. Look at that. And then, dude, and we're not even talking about the fact that Skeletor is probably going to be delivered in the next couple of weeks.
Yes. I had the opportunity to talk to Hector. Mm-hmm. Actually, last night we were talking about it, and I asked him, like, dude, so Skeletor is coming? He's like, yeah, it's coming soon. So they're gonna ship Skeletor soon, and man, but that figure, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't have space on my shelves. It looks incredible.
Well, I talked to you about a project that I have in mind for these cats, and I already got some of the materials, so I'm gonna be working on that when I get back from Thanksgiving break. But I'm not gonna give up hope. I'm gonna see what I can sell.
Oh, you're gonna get it, dude. Just sell stuff, because that's what I do, dude. Like, I was really, I think, I was really fortunate because Mondo, they show up. Raul Barrero posts a picture of the battle of the Panthor, the day of the G-Con, which was Friday, last Friday.
Yeah.
And that was the day before the con. So when I saw the image, I knew already that the drop was coming. Yeah. So I was like, I had the money here to spend at the con. So I kind of like
held
put
back.
The brakes.
Yeah.
I put the brakes, and I saved money. The money that I had to buy some custom figures and custom parts and stuff, I put the brake on that in order to have the money to buy that figure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a smart move, because the thing is that, Mondo went live. I believe it was on Tuesday, and it was Peter and Hector. And they said, and they asked, and people asked during the stream, they said Battle Cat's not coming back.
Wow.
And they said Panthor is not coming back. Obviously, Battle Cat's not. And then Flock Panthor is going to be even more limited.
Wow.
And if they have plans to do Duplicat, which they confirmed, which means we're getting an updated Faker with a new He-Man body.
Correct.
So that's exciting. But, if they're working on Duplicat and stuff like that, I don't see any space for them to do another cat release because we know that there's the Nightmare Horse coming out. We know that there's the Battle Sled coming out. So there's only so many large ticket items that they can produce per year, you know?
Yeah, that's gonna be insane next
So
year,
this Battle
man.
Cat and this Panthor, they're gonna be the goats of O2 collection for at least for 1/6, you know? And
Yeah,
that's why I gotta do whatever I gotta do to get this Panthor, man.
dude. Listen, people, you will be surprised. When I was at Legion's Con, you will be surprised the amount of people that were like that they were telling me that they will pre-order this Panthor. I have no idea how many people are on board with Mondo and Motu Mondo. It's insane. It's insane. People are so happy with the line, and they're so on board with the line. It's insane.
And you know it's crazy because we've talked about it before. Like when they first launched Motu, I wasn't a fan of the product. I never got He-Man. I never got Skeletor. I think my first Mondo was Man at Arms, and then after that I got Keldor. And I never got Hordak. I didn't get Merman. I have a feeling Merman's going to make a return sometime in the future. Exciting news. Mondo did confirm that they're going to be at Designer Con in New York, in Anaheim, in just a few weeks. And they're going to have prototypes of Tila, Orko on display, probably Evil Lyn, and some exciting surprises and reveals. So there's still a lot more stuff to be shown and things that you and I know about that we can't tell the public.
Yeah.
But man, it's crazy how much Mondo has kind of just jumped ahead of the curve on everything. And for me and you, which we're not really a 1/6 collector, it's like we're like, fuck everything else. We got to get these Mondo pieces, you know? So it's crazy. Like I pre-ordered Gambit. I got the Sabretooth, which is amazing. And I pre-ordered the Gambit, which is supposed to ship in a few weeks, but then they sent an update that they're checking the product and they're going to ship in December now.
Okay.
But still, I don't know if I'm going to keep Gambit. He looks great, but I'm not going to be like all in with the X-Men. It all depends, like the final product when it gets here and stuff like that. But man, the potential, you know, for something like Thundercats in this scale and with this detail, it just, you know, and a lot of people have been talking about it on Thundercats on my Instagram. People were like, when are the Thundercats coming from Mondo? I'm like, I wish, man. We've asked Hector and we've asked Peter, and you know, you could tell they're fans of the line, but you know, Warner Brothers.
I can't go into that rabbit hole, dude. I'm already all in with Motu, man.
Oh, dude, if Thundercats happens, I'm like balls deep into Thundercats, bro. Like,
yeah, I can't. I love it, but I can't, dude. It's way too much money, and I still love the 6-inch lines. You know, like
yeah, me too. You know, there's things, right? Like, I know you're not into it, but the Gargoyles line from NECA, dude, man, they have created such a beautiful toy line in what, like, it's been like less than 2 years.
Yeah, crazy.
And I remember when they first announced it, I'm like, oh, they're gonna make like the mean good guys, and then it's gonna end. Dude, they've done everything. They've done freaking Eliza Maza. They've done Xanatos in his business suit, Xanatos in the armor, and the stuff that's still coming out that they revealed
in a short period of time, dude.
In a short period of time. But yeah, there's things like, for example, I'm not a TMNT guy, but man, those James Roman Universal Monster homage turtles, I love those, man. And the new one that's coming out, the werewolf, and then the creature from the Black Lagoon by Groman.
Crazy.
I gotta get
that. I'm thinking, like, right now you're talking to me, and I'm thinking on the space that I may need for those Mondo figures, and it's insane because I have shit ton of stuff, dude, that I need to review. Dude, Diamond Select just sent me a humongous box
I know.
full of Marvel Select figures and Invincible figures.
Yeah.
Like, just look at that, dude. Like, all of that. Like, I need to. I just did the review on the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful action figure, dude. It's beautiful. She's beautiful, and but I need to do like 10 more reviews, and I have no. Oh, that's awesome. I need
You're
to do a
preaching
review
to
of
the
that guy.
choir. I got to do this next.
Oh, let me show you. Right here.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
He's
I need
fucking
to.
cool, man.
I need to review him. I need to do a bunch of stuff, dude. Like, yeah, and I don't have space on my toy room, so I need to check what I'm gonna do, dude. With
Well, we got
this,
the Bits and Buttons show coming up.
yeah, I may need to get rid of stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure. But dude, it's been awesome. It was great reliving again for the second time your experience
Yeah,
at the show because when I hit you up, I know you were in the middle of all the craziness and you still took the time and walked around and we got a first look at for people that couldn't go to the con and people that were watching were able to see the experience of being there, and that was definitely next year, man, for sure. That's already on my calendar. Um, and the next thing I want to do is see if maybe we can go to San Diego Comic Con, man.
yeah, that would be great. That would be great. San Diego Comic Con or New York Comic Con. I
I
mean,
gotta sign up for. I gotta
they say
sign up for press.
next year New York Comic Con. I think it's not gonna be in New York.
What? How the fuck is
Yeah.
it New York Comic Con then?
So they're gonna switch places, and I believe I heard they're gonna move to New Orleans.
What?
Yes,
Oh,
I think
that's
I
a lot
think
closer.
I think next year is gonna be the last year in New York.
Really
Yes.
interesting. Because I've been dying to go to New Orleans, bro. That would
Well,
be
New Orleans is a little bit closer for us.
yeah, much closer. We can
Yeah.
actually drive there.
We can drive there. Yes. Yes. Correct.
That's really cool because that's the only thing I didn't bring up on this show, but depending on how much you spend at these shows, it's a pain in the ass sometimes to bring the shit back because to ship it's an arm and a leg. So if you've already spent so much money on toys plus food and this and that, and then on top of that you got to figure out logistics, how to get the figures back home safe and sound, and there's
Yeah.
only so much space on extra luggage, and so
Yeah.
it depends on how much you plan to buy. I see people like Steve and Nolan, they go ape shit buying stuff at the Horseman store.
I mean, Nolan and Steven had like suitcases, like empty, to take stuff back. I mean, I just bring one suitcase and I was able to fit your stuff, my stuff, which it wasn't like that much.
Yeah.
But the boxes is the problem, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, crazy, dude, crazy.
For sure, man. But dude, it's been awesome. Unfortunately, you weren't here for the last episode, but we were doing basically it was the 20th episode, and we had Mega J on, and we had Break Something joining us. No, it was Break Something was on, Mega J, and we were celebrating the 20th episode, and it's crazy how time has passed so quickly. We're already at 20.
I know.
We're going to make a big announcement. We have a big giveaway. I'm going to be posting more details very soon.
Get ready, guys. Get ready.
A lot of awesome prizes. And all you got to do is really just follow us, tell people about us, subscribe to this channel, follow us on IG accounts. And we're going to be doing the drawing live here. So it's going to be either next week. Well, no, not next week, because next week is Thanksgiving. I don't think.
Thanksgiving.
Following. The following week, probably first week of December. And it's just exciting. Before you know it, we'll be at 30 episodes, and it just keeps growing. And it's awesome to have the guests that we've had this early on. There's definitely a lot of other cool people that we have in mind to have on the show as well. And it's just, it's a fucking awesome time. Like I tell you all the time, just sitting here in front of the camera and talking shit with you and everybody else that comes on here and joins us in this crazy voyage. It's just an awesome time to share and to be a toy collector, man.
Yes.
But yeah, so thank you, man, and we'll definitely be in touch. We'll be reviewing some toys, so definitely check out Carlos' feed because he's going to be putting up those really awesome quickie reviews that he does on all the new products that he got from Diamond. And I'll be doing some reviews myself. And we'll see you all very soon, probably not next week. If we don't see you next week, everybody have a blessed and awesome Thanksgiving. Have some rest, spend some good time with your family, and crack open some toys.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time.
Take care, guys.
Later.